Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good wherever you are in the universe. How are you doing? Today, I wanted to use this platform as my virtual diary to which exposes me to the world. And that's because I feel that it's really important that I share my experience of life, because I think it's not just me that experiences things and the way I experience everything. I think more people do, but it's not really exposed. But I could be wrong, and that's why I'm doing it, because I want to find out more about how I think and about how you think and how other people think. As you can see, I'm color coordinated in my clothing. I got some fun things going on just to keep it funky, spunky, and delicious. I'm in a good mood today, guys and gals and aliens and everything. And what I wanted to discuss was that it all starts with a vision. And what I wanted to share is when you're a visionary person, okay, and like me, my brain feels so vast, so infinite, and generates a gazillion ideas a second. No exaggeration. And with that comes endless inspiration, but then this difficulty in executing what it is that I want to materialize. Along with that, that makes it hard particularly for my concoction of myself, Georgia, is we have conditioning as we grow up about who we should be and why we should be that way, what lanes we should follow. And my conditioning, which I've been having to almost decondition myself with, is very perfectionistic and very high achieving. And that if I do something, it has to be to the most bespoke, best, unique, delicious standard. And what I've noticed is when I have these 1,000 ideas happening all the time, it's hard to do step one, because step one isn't perfection. Obviously, perfection never comes around, as we all eventually realize. You know, I mean, I am kind of perfect. No, joking. Just being a little bit silly. But the perfectionism comes in all different shapes and sizes and really can trap you and can limit your potential, if you will. Oh my God, burping all over the shop. And so, over the past year, I've really spent a lot of time deconditioning myself and going backwards. It feels like from running a PT business and having clients and being yeah, I'm making my own money, I'm self-employed, and really kind of hating it in the end. And now I'm training to be a counselor, therapist. So I'm gaining knowledge and qualifications. However, I'm also a visionary, and I find that society puts everybody in this narrow path. What if you're a biologist and an oil painter, for example? You don't hear about that. It's not on someone's LinkedIn profile, neuroscientist and green vegetable curator. I find that society kind of gives this idea, these conditions that we have to kind of be sucked into one way of being. But what if you want to expand and try and do many different things? Sometimes there aren't the tools so readily available to allow all of this flow and unfolding to happen. And I believe there's a reason different people have different brains, right? And people need to work together as a team, a collaboration, a community, which I would like to invite people to be a part of with me, because I have visions and I'm going to go into them in a moment, and I can't do them alone, right? But you take my personality, and I really need someone who has a skill of, okay, breaking things down and helping organization happen, delegating, and someone who like creams their pants for literally organization. Like some people love that and that's their bread and butter, and we need those people, and we need all kinds of different people. And yet to me it seems, and I'm happy to be challenged on this, but it seems like people have to kind of pick a lane and be really good at that, be really good at one thing, and be able to do everything involved in that. And I don't know, maybe it's my brain, like, it feels like an explosion. Anyway, that was a little bit, maybe didn't fully make sense. So, but that's my brain, right? This is why I need to find people so we can connect and we can be the pieces of the puzzle to help create the picture for a very positive future, right? And I consider myself a visionary because I see patterns and behavioral patterns in humans, and can almost see like the future of what's going to happen in a way. And what I would love to do is to help really genuinely the way that things are going to their roots are really problematic. And I think it takes a lot of people to be in their own power and then be happy to work with one another properly, like from the heart space, in order to really begin to like make waves. And I don't know how that looks, right? I just have a vision, which is like end slavery, full stop. Okay, you could say everyone has that vision, actually. Is that a vision? And bring people together. And it's actually very possible for people to live with differences if you accept that people are different to you. And once you accept that, you can move on. You're no longer like, you think differently to me, and you think this, and you think, okay, you think that way, I think this way. But are our intentions the same? Do we have the same, like, are we caring about people? There's no particular direction that this talk is going in today. I just wanted to talk about visions and the struggle, which I think a lot of people my age, a lot of people of my generation, it's like we want to help people. We want to make things better. We don't want children dying. We don't want genocide. We don't want slavery. People are waking up more spiritually, connecting, moving away from strict traditional religions to understanding that we are all a drop from source, and we can all do something that, when we listen to our hearts, is not then just for ourselves, but it's for the people around us. And it doesn't have to be the whole world that you make a difference to, but if you make a difference to one person and then they make a difference to one person, obviously there's a domino effect. And I would really like to create a space, not just me create, inspire people to join. But it's not even join, because then you run into problems. It's more just like, I want you to be yourself and accept who you are. And when you do that, you accept other people far more. You can deal with other people's shit. If someone's having a bad day, right? You can kind of go, right, okay, well, that's not on me. But if you haven't accepted who you are properly, you don't live authentically, you take that on and it grows. And then this, like, people begin just savaging and hating on each other because there's so much shit between us all. Like, between everyone, we're just hating on each other. And the problem is, like, the energy gets carried. The negative energy just continues on between us all. However, if everybody took a step back and listened to who's shouting the loudest, right? The people that are shouting. People who have suffered, right? Which is all kinds of people from all kinds of groups, ethnicities, genders, sexuality, age, like everything, right, under the sun. Maybe I'm not naming them all, but every person who's suffered from anything. If everyone just took a step back, literally, it's really quite easy, and just said, okay, I'm going to listen to you, even if I don't agree with you, even if I think it's different, even if whatever, I'm going to listen to what you have to say. And maybe I'll learn something, or maybe I'll think you're a fucking idiot, right? But either way, you respect that person. Like, I genuinely, it's not that difficult to just put your ego to the side for a moment. And then it's an exchange, because then you might say something, because some people should speak first and some people should speak last, like cis white men, I'm sorry. Or like they also deserve everyone deserves a voice to equally be heard, but some people are allowed to step up to the podium first, okay? Ethnic minorities, they're not even like people of different colors that aren't white, okay? They get to go first to speak their truth, right? But if everyone just proposed properly, listened genuinely with care in their hearts, maybe you would learn something. And then that would be, right? We're open. And then if the other person or whoever was also reciprocal to listening and being able to hold within us, why haven't we matured? Like, come on, people, we've got this. We can do this. Maturing to go, okay, this is how that person genuinely feels and has experienced life. So now what are the next steps together? And understanding, okay, I disagree on this, we disagree on this, I think this, but can I put that aside because I can use my intuition, my heart, my common sense to go, well, you know what? whatever I'm dealing with might not be, other things take priority, let's say. I'm talking very abstract without example right now, and I understand that. I'm in a flow. It's pouring out of my mouth. Obviously, because this needs to be heard. Because I just think, like, people fighting left and right and politics and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, please, what would actually be, like, so amazing? Why don't you actually, like, chat to your neighbor? Why don't you actually find out about what it's like to be a man, a woman, a transgender person, gay, lesbian, black, white, Asian? I hope I'm not saying these in a derogatory way, genuinely. Like, why don't we find out what it's like? I'm curious. I want to know. I'm a white woman, so I know exactly what it's like to be a woman in this world, but I don't know what it's like to be black or brown, or in a place where I'm an ethnic minority and everyone else is different in that sense, and you get treated differently. That would suck. Like, do we not think how much that would suck if you're constantly, people have got a prejudice against you? Like, it's so unfair. Because, oh my gosh, literally, the weirdest thing just happened. There's like a wire. It was like wriggling over there on the light. Anyway, like, this is very, we're all human. We are all human. And that's the most important thing. And we think that X means Y, but that's not always true. Why don't we get to know the being inside of the vessel? And open our ears and open our hearts. You don't lose anything by learning something new. Genuine. And when someone's an idiot and they're just like, then you just go, well, okay, I accept that about you. And whatever, you haven't taught me anything. We can all learn from each other. I think it's quite, I personally think that that's quite a doable thing to learn and to be open. So, we went on a bit of a ride with this one. As you can see, I've been thinking today. I've been thinking a lot. And I really just love everyone. Like, I love everybody. And sometimes love has to be boundaried. Love comes in so many different forms. And, tell me about you. I want to know. I want to connect with you. If you want to share in the comments or privately, whatever, let me know who you are, your story. Everyone has a story. And once our story is heard, this is the juicy nugget. Okay, this is the juicy wisdom. We have a story, okay? What's happened to us in life? And we relive that story for so long as it stays in the shadow or is not seen or heard or been allowed to be witnessed. When the story can be witnessed, when it can be heard and understood and felt and held, maybe I said that already, collectively or by the self, then the story can be let go of and the attachment falls away. Then the being inside can step forward truly into who they are as the blockage is removed. Because it's our stories, these things have happened to me, these things have happened. And it is the retelling, like, oh, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. Obviously, some terrible things have happened to people, and it needs to be heard, seen, and witnessed in order to move on, in order to let go, in order to let that energy be recycled and alchemized into something new. But so long as we are telling the story of like left versus right and me versus you, it will repeat. So let's everyone stand up on the stage to say their piece, to say who they are, to tell their story, and then let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it flow. And then new can come in, and who knows what new amazing things can be for all of us if we stop telling the story that it cannot be. And let other people come up to the podium, because again, we don't know what people have to offer. Some people, nothing, and some people, a lot. I say nothing for some people. I think everyone has something to offer, but that's the thing. The story needs to be heard. That is the alchemizing of it. That is the telling of, this is what happened to me, or my family, or my generations, or my mother, or my father, my grandparents, my people, my group of people. This is what happened. They were killed in a genocide. They were enslaved, whatever, right? That needs to be heard by the world for it to transmute. Thank you for watching. All for one and one for all.